and welcome back to the Accountability Room, where women gather to talk about accounting, running a business, and everything in between. I'm your host, Becca Chaffee, and I am here with Jenn Shaw, founder at All Accounting LLC, and Gofan from Strategic Alliance Group. Welcome, ladies. Glad you're here.
Hello. So happy to be here again today.
Hello, hello.
Grateful to have you. So, last week we talked about the cost of playing small and what it looks like to recognize where you're holding yourself back. And encouraging you when you're ready to stop holding yourself back, some practical steps that you can take to move yourself forward. So go listen to that episode and see what opportunities you can identify in your own business. But this week, our conversation is all about marketing when you don't feel like it. Because if we're being honest, marketing is the first thing to fall off of our to do list when things get
Hmm.
busy, overwhelming, or uncertain. And there's a few reasons for that, right? But it's really easy to show up when you're feeling creative, you're excited, maybe you learned about a new tech that you want to play with. But on the days when you just don't feel good, you're not feeling yourself, you're not feeling creative, you're in your head and you're second guessing, or you're just not seeing momentum. So it doesn't even feel like why try? It's not going anywhere, right? It gets really easy to pull back.
It
So
really
that's what
does.
we're going to talk about today. How do you stay visible, consistent, and intentional when you don't feel like it? So, Jen, go for it. You were getting us started.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just I think of marketing as sales and selling myself is just very difficult. I am
Hmm.
an introvert.
Yeah.
The people that I really, really know, I am very talkative with, but in general, it's is out of my comfort zone to speak about the things about me really because you're just marketing is selling yourself and what you
Yeah.
know, and as I'm gaining better understanding of who I am and the type of clients I want and we want, it's just refining that process and being able to speak that to others. I've spoken about it a little bit prior to of just having a decade of my life where just being squashed and I lowered where my voice was. And so just
Mm.
coming back to it on a regular basis. And there is lots and lots of days that there is absolutely no motivation. And I think that goes back to ultimately sticking with habits, consistency, and up for even the smallest little bit, whether, yeah, it's one email that you're sending a day or making a call of a connection, asking for your current clients, hey, are you wanting something more? But just showing up is like whether it's exercise or food or whatever it might be, we cannot rely just on motivation itself. It's definitely creating the habits that
Mm.
it's part of what your schedule is. And so during this time, you're scheduled to do marketing.
Yes, I agree. It is a struggle. Marketing is a struggle for me, and
Hmm.
I can do the work all day long, but how anybody gonna know about the work if I don't get out there and tell them about
Yeah.
the work?
Yeah.
And how can they hire me if they don't know I exist?
Right.
Hmm.
So marketing is definitely a struggle for me, and trying to do it again, it goes back to fear. That little
Mhm.
word keeps popping up in all our conversations. Fear. What if I look silly? What if this doesn't work? But what if it does work? So
Yeah.
fear, and like Jen said, you have to stay consistent, one little step at a time. And then I'll go back again to, I've said this several times, is the fear, throw the fear out the window, and then also one little step at a time, being consistent. You just have to take that first step, that first action.
Mhm.
Put one foot in front of the other and just do it and stay on
Mhm.
schedule it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like you schedule maybe I schedule my workouts. Your workouts, put it on the calendar, marketing, and you do it for
Mhm.
30 minutes, maybe an hour, but you do something. But then as you continue to do it more consistently, it won't feel like a big pill to swallow.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's also really good to just zoom out and know that marketing in itself is a key element no matter how small or large you are. If you don't market, you will die. Your
Mm,
business will die. You constantly have to market yourself in some capacity for your own well-being in your business to ensure that you have that flow. Whether a lead is going to actually come into something or not, that's fine. We went through a agency, and one of the things that was mentioned was that you can get a lead in and then not hear from them for 3 years, and then
mhm,
all of a sudden here they bloom. But if you are only talking to them when you first receive them and you don't continue that
mm,
conversation for 3 years, then they don't know that you're still there. They're gonna pick
mhm,
up the next person that ultimately inspired them or whatever, but making sure that you show up in the littlest ways because it really honestly matters. The videos
mhm,
that I've done, like, I I swear that no one was really watching them, and then I was talking to one of our clients, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I love that, I love going on and listening to you," and I was like, "Wow, I would not have expected that that was the video that you were watching," but it is, and so
yeah,
Yeah.
it gains better connection even though I'm not, like, talking to her specifically on a regular basis, she feels that connection with me because I'm talking to the video.
we have to stop thinking as marketing as selling, which it is a little bit,
Right.
but look at it as we can solve problems, we can solve your problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think if we looked at it like that, things could shift a little bit. Our mindset could shift a little bit because I'm always like, I'm not good at selling. I'm not a salesperson. So that holds me back. But if
Mhm.
switch my mindset and
Mhm.
say, hey, I can help this owner with their cash flow. I can help them, see where they're losing money or see where they can be more profitable. And if you take these steps, this will happen. Like you do in your teaching videos, Jen. I
Mhm.
think if we do more of that, it's marketing, but now you're in a rhythm, you're in a flow, and people are seeing that.
Mhm. I think it's definitely shifted, like, you're totally spot on with that. People expect to receive something for free.
Mhm.
And I don't think that we should be keepers of information either because we have the internet at the tip of our fingers. Now, you do have to be good at deciding what to input and make sure that you're asking the right question, but you have a wealth of knowledge. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. It is like you have to absorb whatever. But people expect something for free. And I think that it just shows how you are as an individual of like, yeah, I want to help you. I want to be
Mhm.
able to help guide you. And this is how I talk, and this is how my approach is. And there are so many people out there, there are so many different approaches that you may not be the right fit for someone, but having marketing material available, whether it's an email or on social media or a video, it gets a person to understand who your company is and just the cadence of how you talk and your vibe. That's so important, especially
Mhm.
for accountants, is we have clients for long periods of time. A typical accounting client's going to be 3 to 5 years depending on what their
Mhm.
business is, but that's a lot of conversation. And they need to be able to trust you and know before they sign up that they like you. Because we're not we're not just like people that, oh yeah, down the road I see that sign and I'm gonna go and check on them. No, we're in a world now of much more clear understanding and people can go all the videos forever. and just
Yeah.
scroll,
I think
scroll.
that's a good, like, why marketing's so important, right? Like, that's a
Mhm.
huge reason as to why we have to do it. And so how we get ourselves to do it when we don't feel like it is sort of the tricky part. I think that that's
Mhm.
twofold that people run into. I think there's a couple of barriers. One of the I don't really feel like it, I don't feel good, I don't want to get makeup on, I don't want to whatever holds us back. And then similarly, I think sometimes people don't even know what to do. So they don't feel like
Yeah.
doing it because it's, I need to research, I need to understand the tech stack that I need. I need to even like build up a script. I need to practice. And so getting over, I think those are the two main hurdles that hold people back is how they don't even know where to start. It's overwhelming. And so I'd love to talk about that a little bit. And then again, building that habit, that consistency piece. We've talked about this before. Motivation is really that spark that gets you started.
Mhm.
Consistency is what gets you actual movement and momentum.
Yeah.
Like, you can think something's a great idea and go on a rabbit trail for 10 to 12 hours and learn about it, and doing it week over week is a totally different thing. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but let's go back to the how, because I think sometimes that's what really is holding people back. So what are some tools that you ladies have found to even just start moving forward in your firm's marketing practice? So this is a brand new firm, totally green. They're like, "Yeah, you guys keep talking about making videos. What do you mean make a video? What does that look like? Let's break it down a little bit. What are some things that you ladies do?"
Mhm. Well, specifically, we use a platform, Riverside. There's a ton of them out there, but it's as simple as your phone.
Mhm.
And I think that there's no perfect tool. And because in accounting, we deal with a lot of different softwares, it's no matter what software where you're in, there's always going to be workarounds. And so
Right.
it's really just about choosing one and then watching a YouTube video about how to do it. Because some can be very complicated. I think like Adobe, their whole platform, it's fantastic if you are an artist and photographer and videographer and you can know all the tools and tricks, but I have no capacity for that. I love a spreadsheet. You just
Yeah.
don't know it until you plug and play. You got to be comfortable enough and willing to break it so that you can post it and get it on there. And like, I don't know how to edit. We don't know how to edit. Like, it just comes. So do a long form at first and then do a short form and then add in a weird emoji. And, there's all these things.
Yeah, build on it.
Yeah, build on it. It's not perfect at the beginning. That's for sure.
No. And Becca, I am one of those people that go down the rabbit hole. There's so many different choices out
Yeah.
there. So I got overwhelmed because I am actually in that stage, right? The first stage. I got overwhelmed. So I'm doing
Yeah.
things old school. I'm using a spreadsheet. I'm looking for people that's in my I put it on a spreadsheet, old school, put it on a spreadsheet. Now, once I'm done making a list of a few people, then I'm gonna do old cold email. So I'm gonna try that and see if that works before I invest in any of the other tools that are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's no reason why you have to invest a lot of money or any money into it. There are so many free versions and going to your chamber of commerce and
Mhm,
try a lot of it because I guess that's the other thing in marketing. You have to try all the different types of marketing that there is because you
mhm.
may find that actually you love creating email lists and creating the template so it has all of the like videos on it or just compiling the email list and ensuring that everyone is connected and I am not sure, but, like,
That's not
there are
me.
so many there yeah, or, like, printing a flyer and taking it to coffee shops, or if you have some, like, signs places. There's so many different ways in which you can market, and there's no right way to market. Just pick one, do it for a little bit. Okay, that doesn't
Mhm,
work, or I guess not that it doesn't work because it also is time, right? It's just
mhm,
showing up that consistency. So, but dabble in what you do enjoy. Don't
Yeah.
mhm.
try something that continuously you're like dreading it. Like, there's a difference between the fear of not wanting to, like, showing up in an inauthentic way, but also just feeling that, no, actually, I don't love doing this. Like
Mhm.
it's draining every time. And it's not that I don't want to do marketing, so try something different.
Mhm.
Yeah, that can be how you build consistency. So we talked originally about habit stacking, and so that brings a really good point, Jen, that building consistency does not mean sticking with something that you do not enjoy. If
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
is not fueling you and you're not finding any progress in terms of yourself getting better or liking it better, consistency can still be I'm going to try a new theme this week and next week and the week after. And consistency can mean I'm going to build together, I'm going to add a project in my practice management tool that has 4 different marketing methods, and each week I'm going to try one. Once I
Mhm.
like that one, I'm gonna establish another 4-week follow-up to do one thing on that item for
Yes.
4 different weeks. I'm gonna set up recurring reminders. It's about how do you keep yourself on track? So that's the biggest
Mhm.
thing is don't just try one thing and then fizzle out. Hold yourself accountable. I
Mhm.
think the other piece that really matters here is something that we all fall into, I imagine, or at least I sure do. It is a lot easier for me to sell someone else or to give someone else credit or to put someone else up on a pedestal than it is to sell myself or to
Mhm.
sell what I can do. And first of all, that's normal. And that's also not something to celebrate or say is the only way because there is an importance in being able to articulate your skill set authentically and not hide behind humility. So, what I'm saying by hide behind humility, I'm not trying to talk down on anybody, but sometimes we mask fear as humility. Like, "Oh, I'm just humble." Yeah, and you're scared. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
both, right? And so how do you say what it is that you're good at? And so for me, it might be if I was could shift my perspective ever so slightly and say, how would I talk about myself if I was a friend? Like, how would my friend talk about what it is that I can do? Do whatever it is that you need to do. Or maybe for you, you don't want to do that. You might want to like look at your resume first or do a skills assessment for yourself first before you go into these settings. But give yourself a chance to really sell yourself and say what you can do. Or if you really believe in your service, a co you mentioned in the marketing piece, you're like, I can solve this problem. Highlight that. We do it so naturally for others, but we struggle a little bit to do it for ourselves. And
Mhm.
again, I don't think that's always just humility. I think that sometimes there's fear. It's easier to let somebody else take the reins.
Mhm.
I've learned, once I became an entrepreneur that marketing is easy when, things are going good, the business is going good, everything is flowing like it should, but it's harder when it's not as good, when you know you
Mhm.
need to get clients, when you know you need to get more revenue. I mean, all of that, then it gets a little bit harder. That's why you have to stay consistent with it because if
Yeah.
someone falls off or revenue falls off, you have a consistent pipeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
People know who you don't wait till I think it was Jen that mentioned, don't wait until 3 years later.
Right.
You
Right.
keep doing that consistently where people are seeing you showing up at the networking events,
Yeah.
giving those classes, teaching those classes, doing the public speaking, all of that. So people will know who you are, one, and where to find you. And then you have to consistently tell them what problems it is that you can solve for them because they may not know they have a problem until they see you or you
Yeah.
talk to them and let them know,
Right.
oh, no, you do have a problem. And then they'll
Mhm.
go, "Oh, well, let me call Jen because I remember her saying that she could solve this problem that I
Yeah.
have right now." So consistency, consistency, consistency.
There's
Mhm.
also a different level of confidence when you're marketing and you have a plethora of clients than when you're marketing and you don't. It
Mhm.
is a very, very different energy that comes through when you're like, "I really need this sale." People
Mhm.
can feel it, and so I
Mhm.
would say when you are thriving and you have a lot of business, that's actually the time to market. That's what I would say is
Mhm.
that it is okay. There are times when so it's always the right time to market, let's be clear. Let me
Mhm.
zoom back out. But the energy that you feel and that you can share when you have a lot of clients under your belt is very different. There's a different
Mhm.
level of authority that comes through, and most clients are going to be fine if you can't start for 4 or 5 weeks. When
Mhm.
we've had several where we've had to explain, like, "Yes, we'd be happy to work with you, but we cannot start until later in a month from now," or whatever else. We're onboarding some other clients. they're okay with that. That's not something that's usually going to be a deal breaker for them. And so it's worth reminding your like exactly what you're saying, Cove. Don't wait until you're really struggling.
Mhm.
It just changes. It changes the energy. It changes the approach. It changes what client or potential clients receive when they're talking to you.
Mhm.
So yeah, keep moving for
It's
sure.
salesy. It gets to be salesy.
It does, yeah.
Mhm.
The energy shifts a lot. And that's not to say, like, don't show up. It's still good to know your worth and show up
Yeah.
authentically regardless, for sure.
Exactly. Exactly.
The hardest thing is when you are at the very beginning and you don't have those clients. One thing that was a struggle is like a lot of times marketing is the testimonial piece
Mhm.
and your experience. And although you may have experience, at the same time, you don't have a lot of stories of the experience.
Right.
And so it feels inauthentic at the beginning, but
Mhm.
it also just gets you in that rhythm, and as
Yeah.
you grow, again, don't judge yourself on someone's chapter 10 when you're on chapter 1. They were in your shoes prior, and it
Yes.
does feel weird and awkward, and that's totally normal, but you must continue to push through it. Be uncomfortable. That's what we talked about last week, like playing small. You don't want to play small and showing up for
Right.
yourself. And I guess just that, like allowing yourself, we will show up for so many other people, but showing up
Mhm.
for ourselves, we're the quickest one to be like, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it
Mhm.
next week.
Right.
But your confidence and your self worth just skyrockets when you actually show up for yourself.
Exactly. Consistency creates opportunities.
Ooh,
Mhm.
love that.
Because
Yes.
people don't see the seeds that are planted, they
Right.
only see the harvest.
Yes.
Yes.
They don't
Yes.
see the struggle, but they
Right. Yep.
see, the glory.
It's so true. It's so true.
Mm,
Okay. So now that we've sort of highlighted the different ways that we're navigating this process and the reality of what that can look like in our businesses, I want to present a weekly challenge to our listeners as we do. And so
Mhm.
the challenge this week is to create a simple, repeatable marketing action. So I want to highlight that I said marketing action, not a marketing plan. You do not have to invent a marketing team. You do not have to invent a giant whole portfolio and plan and process.
Mhm.
We are going to ask that you create a simple, repeatable marketing action that you can stick to no matter what. So,
mhm,
whatever that looks like for you, something small, something realistic. It could be one post a week, it could be one email follow up per week to a contact that you met at chamber event or online, whatever that looks like, or one touch point with your audience. So, if you go live on YouTube or on Facebook, but connecting with people and then commit to doing it consistently, regardless of how you feel. That's a big one. How we feel a little tired, if we feel super amped, can't impact the actions of the day when it comes to business.
Yeah.
You have to still show up consistently. And so commit to doing this one simple, repeatable marketing action because, again, marketing is not about showing up perfectly, it's about showing up consistently enough to stay top of mind. I
mhm.
think we were told when we first started doing this that it takes 11 touch points. People want to hear or see you 11 different times
Oh, yes.
before they move forward. And so if you've done
Wow.
that one marketing point and you're like, hey, I did it, it's not working. Sorry, friend, you have 10 more of those to do before that
Wow.
person is going to click reply. It takes
Thanks,
Yes.
11
Becca.
touch. So consistency is key, right? So
It really
if
is.
you're
Right.
gonna do it twice a week, if you're gonna do it once a week, if you're gonna do it every other week, I don't care. Just do it consistently and then know that what you put into it is what you're gonna get out. So as you're building out that repeatable marketing action, consider what is the action really that you can commit to even on the days that you don't feel like it. So, and I would say, how do you set yourself up for success? Again, put it in your practice management tool so that it highlights and is boop, pinging on your calendar and you have to do
Mhm.
it. Maybe it's telling a friend, get an accountability buddy. Um,
Those are so good.
Yep.
so
Creating
good.
systems.
Mhm.
Yes. I mean, yes, as long as it's a flexible system.
Exactly, exactly.
So before we wrap up, I'm going to present that same question to the two of you. What is our growth edge this week? So what are we committing to do ourselves to continue moving forward? Again, it doesn't have to be a big campaign or a perfectly planned strategy, but a small, consistent action that helps us build trust and visibility over time.
Well, if you say us doing it, does delegating some of those responsibility?
Yeah, I
Because
mean, as long as you inspect what you expect. So as long as you're
yes.
following up, yes.
Yes, so I'm gonna have my intern start the list for me. We already have a list of 100 people in my niche, and
Okay.
so I wanna grow that list to at least 200 so we have a good list. So I'm gonna have I did the first 100, but I'm gonna have my intern do the other 100. Then go back and try to find the owners and people who can make decisions on that list.
What's your timeline? Are you gonna show up and email one person on that list each week, or what's your visibility
The
piece?
goal is to email 25 people on that
Okay.
list every week.
Okay, I love that. So that's perfect. So, okay, 25 a week.
Mhm.
All right, I'm excited to hear who
And now I
responds.
know I have to at least do it 11 times.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Hope they don't think I'm harassing them.
Yeah, spread it out.
No, and
Often, yeah,
that's the beauty of, like, marketing is that I mean, if you think about your own emails, like, it's you don't see them every
right.
day, and
Mm-mm.
life got busy and, "Oh, yeah, I need to go check my email 3 days later," and you're still gonna miss some, so emailing consistently gets it at some point in the top of your head. Also, I think of, like, the schools, like, I have a 6th and 7th grader, and oh my god, the emails I get, but there are a lot of action items I have to do, and I see
Mhm.
the email and I'm like, I'll deal it later. Oh, no worries." But then finally, because they email so much, I'm like, "Oh, okay, now I have the time, I'm gonna take my action." And the same thing is, as they're marketing
Mhm.
to us to do something, so
Mhm.
kinda the same thing. Yeah. I'm on my own and I will be sticking to my plans and saying yes to me and staying with my normal regular schedule and not off skirting it. So that is just working and flexing my consistency muscle. And
Mhm.
that's what I'll be doing
I mean,
this.
that's a
Okay.
good one. It is really different when you don't have a 9 a.m. meeting and then a
Yeah.
12 p.m. that somebody's pinging you about. You can
Yep.
kinda float around. So I love it. I'm gonna ping you every once in a while and be like, "Hey, you got your done?"
No, don't ping me. Just like you're gonna see it and be like, "Oh my gosh, it's on there."
I love that. Yeah, growth edge, I think, is going to be that element of headspace. So I am queen bee of cheerleading, and I can root for every single person. And so zooming out and using that same language for myself, I think, is really the growth that would be most beneficial to me. And I can do that consistently just by not just I will do that consistently by checking in as I'm, emailing or working on marketing campaigns, how my language is coming through. So love it. Well, thank you for spending this time with us in the accountability room. If this conversation resonated with you, share it with somebody who needs a reminder that consistency matters more than motivation, especially when it comes to marketing. That wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for joining us and have a wonderful afternoon.